Julia, what are the top 5 concerns you've heard over the last couple of years with Mind Boost Day?
So when taking our product, I think the biggest thing that people are concerned about, one is what to expect, how long it will take. And it really depends on your health and your age, and also if you've had any prior brain damage, what medications you're on. All those things can make it take a little bit longer, and sometimes a lot longer, up to 120 days for you to really notice that your memory is changing. But I will say that memory is one of those things that it's really hard to tell if your memory is getting better. I mean, if you're forgetting 20 things a day and all of a sudden you're only forgetting 10 things a day, I mean, that's a 50% improvement.
Right.
But you know, we're human and we're only going to focus on the negatives. So most people still think, oh, I'm still forgetting things, it's not working. So like with anything, unless you measure it, you're not going to know if it's working for you or not.
Right, which is why we created the memory test.
Absolutely. So on our website at simplesmartscience.com/memory-test, you'll find a test, and we encourage you to take it before you start taking Mind Boost, and after 30 days, and after 60 days, and after 90 days to see your improvement. And it's going to test not only your memory, but it will test the speed and accuracy of your memory, which is really important because those are components as well. So it's just really important to measure yourself.
So let me share with you an experiment we conducted last summer with a friend of mine who has a small business of computer programmers. And because he's programming his team of about 20 individuals, they bill out hourly, and so he actually tracks his programmers' productivity by the minute. And we wanted to do an experiment over the course of 60 to 90 days. How would Mind Boost Day, if we supplied that to everyone in his company, how would that affect their productivity? And the interesting thing, Julia, is at the end of the 90 days, if you were to sit down and ask the participants of the study, each of them felt better, they had a good, a good experience, but they weren't, like life didn't change dramatically. But what the interesting thing was, once we went back and looked at the data on a per minute basis, across the board, every single one of them increased their productivity anywhere from 5 to 20%. And when you're talking about billing at hundreds of dollars per hour, my friend Keith estimated that this one little boost in productivity was worth about $500,000 to him.
Yeah. So it just goes to show the importance of measuring your results, because like I said, our brains are kind of programmed to look at the negative. And we don't want you giving up after 30 days because you can't feel anything. That's probably the most common complaint we get, when people don't measure themselves and they can't feel anything. And again, we don't use artificial stimulants so that you do feel something like caffeine. We don't think that that's really necessary. It's not the purpose of our products. So another concern some of our customers have is that they are on current medications, kind of like yourself after your heart attack.
Right.
And will this interfere with your medications? Now, we always recommend before you take any product or start any exercise regime,
the very first thing,
consult with your doctor. We aren't doctors. We can't
tell you what to take, what not to take. You're absolutely unique, and only your doctor knows what is appropriate for you. And in my case in particular, I had a heart attack and I was on some blood thinners where one of the ingredients in our product, ginkgo biloba, also has a blood thinning tendency, and he didn't want me on it, which was a bit frustrating. But luckily I was able to get off that, and now am back on, thankfully, Mind Boost Day.
Yeah, and in my case, I'm 4 months pregnant and can't take Mind Boost Day while I'm pregnant, and I can...
And we certainly noticed.
I can tell you I'm a bit spacey at times, so I can't wait to get back on the Mind Boost after I have the babies. So
the third most common question we hear from customers about our products is about their safety and the side effects of the products.
And what we hear sometimes is that customers can have an upset tummy or slight headaches, but we've also discovered that that's usually because they're not taking it with food. It's very important to take our Mind Boost with food.
But other than that, we don't hear any negative side effects, and actually in the development of the product, we spent a great deal of time looking at interactions and drug interactions, and we wanted something that was going to be the safest on the market.
Another question we get asked often is our product 100% all natural? And the answer to that is absolutely yes. We use only plant-based products and not even combined synthetic plant-based products. It's just plant-based products and extracts.